In the heart of Burkina Faso, where the golden sun meets the vast savanna, life usually moves at a steady, familiar rhythm. Families rise with the sun, markets buzz with trade, and communities lean on each other for survival. But one night, that rhythm was violently disrupted. A young girl, barely 12 years old, vanished from her home. One moment she was asleep, the next, she was in the hands of kidnappers. News of the abduction spread quickly. Fear gripped the neighborhood. Parents huddled their children close, eyes darting to the shadows, ears straining for any unusual sound. The girl's family was frantic, desperate for answers, but the kidnappers were elusive. They had struck with precision, slipping away into the labyrinth of alleys that crisscrossed Ouagadougou. Yet, this was not a story destined to end in tragedy. Watching over the nation was a leader who refused to let fear dictate the lives of his people, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Young, determined, and unyielding, Traore had risen to power not merely as a politician, but as a soldier who understood that leadership is measured not in words, but in action. When his intelligence team flagged the abduction, the president acted immediately. There was no hesitation. Every second mattered. In the world of kidnappings, delays are deadly. The team traced the girl's last known location, analyzing routes, predicting escape paths, and identifying likely hideouts. Traore coordinated the operation with military precision, issuing orders that would define the line between life and death. The kidnappers, unaware that their movements were being tracked, continued through narrow streets, confident in their secrecy. But Traore's forces were always a step ahead. Using a combination of local intelligence and surveillance, the president's team anticipated every turn, setting up checkpoints, cordons, and rapid response units at strategic points. Inside the command room, Traore's eyes scanned maps, markers, and reports. Every piece of information was crucial. The lives of the girl and her family depended on quick, decisive action. With each passing minute, the tension grew. Outside, the city moved obliviously, unaware that a battle for innocence was unfolding in its streets. As the operation progressed, the kidnappers realized they were not alone. Their escape routes were blocked. The streets that once seemed open were now traps, carefully orchestrated by the president's intelligence network. Panic set in among the criminals. Their carefully planned abduction was unraveling before their eyes. In a final attempt to evade capture, they moved toward a secluded area on the outskirts of the city, thinking distance would grant them freedom. But Traore's team anticipated this move. Units were in position, silent and ready. A coordinated maneuver ensured that the kidnappers were intercepted before they could reach safety. The girl, terrified and crying, was discovered huddled in a corner, the shadows of the night amplifying her fear. Traore, though not physically present at the scene, had overseen every detail. His strategic command ensured the operation's success, minimizing risk and ensuring the girl's safety. She was rescued unharmed, her tears slowly giving way to relief. The kidnappers were captured, disarmed, and secured. Every detail of the operation was documented, evidence preserved, and intelligence collected. Traore's team knew that this was more than a single rescue. It was a statement, a message to anyone who believed they could instill fear in the hearts of Burkina Faso's people. In the days that followed, the story spread across the nation. News outlets reported the dramatic rescue. Families, previously paralyzed by fear, felt a renewed sense of hope. Traore's actions were more than heroic, they were transformative. He had demonstrated that kidnappers, no matter how organized or ruthless, could be outsmarted, cornered, and defeated. For Traore, leadership is inseparable from responsibility. The abduction of one child is enough to shake a nation, and he understood this profoundly. Every decision, every order, every strategy is infused with a personal commitment to protect the vulnerable. This commitment extends beyond political calculations. It is a moral imperative, a promise to the citizens that their safety is his priority. The operation also sent ripples through the networks of criminals and extremist groups operating in the region. News of the failed abduction and successful rescue spread quickly, instilling fear in those who preyed on the innocent. Traore's message was clear: Burkina Faso would not yield. The nation's protector would not wait for disaster to strike. He would act before harm could reach the people. Beyond the immediate rescue, Traore's team used intelligence gathered from the operation to identify other potential threats. The kidnappers' contacts, hideouts, and plans were traced, monitored, and neutralized. This proactive approach ensured that future abduction attempts would be less likely to succeed, gradually restoring a sense of security to communities that had long lived in fear. The young girl's family, overwhelmed with relief, publicly expressed gratitude. Yet Traoré remained focused on the broader challenge. He knew that one rescue does not end a crisis. The fight against kidnappers, insurgents, and criminal networks is ongoing, demanding constant vigilance, adaptability, and strategic foresight. Traoré's leadership style in this operation reflects a combination of courage, intelligence, and empathy. He recognizes that the psychological impact of kidnappings is as devastating as the physical danger. By acting decisively, he not only saved a life, but also reinforced the confidence of citizens, showing that the state is capable, responsive, and protective. Across the country, the message resonated. Communities began to cooperate more openly with security forces, reporting suspicious activities, and assisting in intelligence gathering. Local vigilance, combined with Traoré's strategic oversight, created an ecosystem of security that made abduction increasingly difficult. International observers also noted the effectiveness of the operation. Neighboring countries facing similar threats sought to understand how Burkina Faso had successfully executed such a precise rescue. Traoré's approach, combining intelligence, rapid response, and community engagement, became a model for counter-kidnapping operations in the region. Despite the success, Traoré did not allow complacency. He continued to monitor threat patterns, refine strategies, and strengthen intelligence networks. The safety of the people remained the central focus, guiding every decision, every deployment, and every operational plan. The story of how Traoré saved a young girl from kidnappers is more than a tale of heroism. It is a testament to the power of leadership, the importance of strategic thinking, and the enduring resilience of a nation that refuses to be terrorized. In every rescued life, in every thwarted abduction, Traoré's presence is felt not as a distant figure, but as an active guardian, vigilant, determined, and unwavering. As the city returned to its rhythm, the young girl's laughter gradually replaced tears. Neighbors spoke with renewed confidence, and families breathed easier. Traoré's actions had restored more than safety. They had restored hope, courage, and the belief that even in the face of fear, leadership and decisiveness could prevail. And for those who would dare threaten the innocent, the message was unmistakable. Burkina Faso will fight back. Its protectors are vigilant, its citizens empowered, and its leadership resolute. Ibrahim Traoré had demonstrated, once again, that kidnappers would find no sanctuary in the nation. The rescue operation would later be studied as a blueprint for crisis response. Analysts praised the integration of intelligence, community cooperation, and rapid mobilization. Yet for Traoré, the measure of success was simple. The girl was safe, and her family reunited. That night, a life was saved, and a nation saw its protector in action. In the weeks that followed, Traoré continued to implement reforms, strengthen security protocols, and expand intelligence networks. Each successful operation further weakened the networks of kidnappers, reducing their influence and curbing their ability to instill fear. The story of this rescue is a reminder that leadership is not just about policy, speeches, or authority. It is about action, decisiveness, and the willingness to take responsibility for those who cannot protect themselves. Ibrahim Traoré embodied these qualities that night, demonstrating courage under pressure and unwavering commitment to the people of Burkina Faso. Through his actions, Traoré has set a standard that says, no threat is too great, no criminal network too cunning, and no act of violence against the innocent will go unanswered. Every operation, every decision, every risk taken in the name of protecting lives reflects the resolve of a leader who understands the weight of his responsibility. The girl, now safe and surrounded by her family, became a symbol of hope. Her rescue story spread, inspiring communities across the nation. Parents began to feel a renewed sense of security, children returned to school, and neighborhoods once paralyzed by fear slowly regained normalcy. And while the threat of kidnapping in Burkina Faso is far from eradicated, the nation now operates under a new paradigm. One where intelligence, rapid response, and community engagement create a system capable of anticipating and neutralizing threats before they can harm the innocent. Traoré's leadership has become inseparable from the nation's fight against kidnapping. Each action, each operation, and each strategy demonstrates a holistic approach to security, one that prioritizes life, empowers communities, and leverages intelligence,